Who better than Mr. A.K. Purwar, the Chairman and Independent Director at IIFL Finance, right here in our studios to talk about exactly how life is going to be now that the relief from RBI has come. Mr. Purwar, morning, what a relief it must be for you as well, right?
A great relief.
Great relief.
We could see now that, well, we are going to survive. And we are going to be an active player in the market.
Absolutely. But it took 6 months, right, for this full ban to be lifted. What happened at IIFL Finance in the last 6 months? How much of legwork did you guys have to do at the back end?
Well, to be candid, it was a shocker to us when this happened. But as an organization, we pulled it up, and we created a team to handle various regulatory issues which were flagged by RBI. And we saw to it that everything gets rectified in a time-bound manner. And RBI, and then we started continuously engaging ourselves with RBI on day-to-day basis if required, to show to them the progress which we have made in rectification. And well, during the last 6 months, our whole focus was, while we were doing business, other businesses, that is the digital lending, loans against property, but as far as gold lending was concerned, that was our major portfolio. So, and that portfolio, when we were seeing going down at 1,000 crore per month, 2,000 crore per month, say for example. So, to be candid with you, for last 2 months, we were incurring cash losses every month, every day. So, whole focus was on rectification, and fortunately, we were able to convince RBI of our stand. But here I would like to in response to your question, I would like to say that, well, at IIFL, checking, cross-checking, multiple checking with RBI for rectification, verifying the rectification, was sometimes very difficult for us as IIFL to understand. And I must say that sometimes I used to feel very uncomfortable that once a thing has been checked, rechecked, cross-checked, again checked. Why these multiple checks? It was sometimes very disturbing. So I used to feel very disturbed. But as a banker, if you ask me, I mean, my legal qualification is as a banker.
Of course.
So as a banker, I used to feel very happy inside. We were a very extremely professional regulator who would not let go a thing unless and until they have more than 200% satisfied themselves on whether the rectifications have been properly carried out, number one. Number two, whether those rectifications will sustain over a long period of time. And number three, that the organization has learned its lessons.
Yeah. So what were the lessons? And before that, I want to talk about the damage in the last 6 months. You talked about the cash losses, but how many customers did you lose? What were the kind of queries and panic calls that you were getting?
Very difficult question to answer. We went through an extremely torrid time in last 6 months. Many of our customers whose loans got paid off, they simply left us, and we were feeling sad that they were leaving us. To our competitors, they were forecasting that, well, IIFL may not come back now, and therefore a lot of customers were getting
writing off your demise.
Some of our employees also, because you know, in today's world, regular salary is not adequate. You know, with a lot of variable salary which is there linked to your performance also plays a very important role in. So that was a challenge, and some of our employees started leaving. So that was a challenge. It was a very, very difficult time. But as far as lessons are concerned, we learn our lessons. We stand tested today. Our focus so far during the last 20 years of our existence was on technology, that we must have better than the best technology. As compared to many institutions who outsource their technology, we have built up a huge in-house team which focuses on keeping our technology update, not only update. Our motto is that we have to be better than the best in the country and comparable to best in any part of the world. So that's how. And second focus was on credit quality, that our credit quality, as a banker, I always felt that lending business, if you compromise on credit quality, then you cannot sustain for the long term. So those two focuses were very strongly there. Now another focus has come. Now that although we were compliant by and large, we always believed in complying with RBI regulations in letter as well as splits. But now I'll personally devote a lot of my time on the setting up proper systems and processes to ensure that this unfortunate event, which was a big lesson to all of us, never gets repeated again.
Absolutely. It must have been months of a lot of trauma, but now you're heaving a sigh of relief. Brokerage notes are already upgrading IIFL Finance, and I'm just going to take away from what Jeffries has to say, because they say that the gold loan disbursement will take time to normalize and recover over the next 1 to 2 quarters, given the fact that there had been customers who switched lenders. It'll take time to regain market share. So how would you like to respond to this in terms of a timeline?
Well, let me put this way, that before this event, we enjoyed certain market share of the system. To regain that market share will take a little longish time. But as far as our business levels were concerned, as on the date which this event occurred, it is around 24,000 crores. Our efforts are that by 31st March 2025, we not only regain our absolute level of advances, but exceed those levels.
No, just an extension to the point that Avan just asked, because what I see is your gold loan AUMs had very good growth before this RBI ban, right? The momentum was about almost 30%. When do we expect this exact rate of growth to come up? And will you then have to be a lot more aggressive than how you were? Given the fact that now RBI has also told NBFs to not do more than this 20,000 cash disbursement, and I guess that must be a very big impediment, right?
Well, let me take your last question first.
Yes, please.
That yes, the cash disbursement, now we are very explicit, clear that we will not disburse in cash more than 20,000. So that's how the instructions have gone to all. But I expect that the regulators and the government will ensure that there is a level playing field for all of us. It should not be that we do it
and others don't,
and rest of the market behaves in a different way. Otherwise, we shall definitely be a long-term loser. But if a level playing field is there, gets created, then we are sure that, we will be able to survive. Two, that as I was telling you, that technology in our organization is it taken as some sort of a religion. Technology and asset quality. Technology-wise, when this event happened, we used to disperse 30,000 new accounts every day. And out of these 30,000, 80% customers used to be very small customers taking loans for housing construction, repairs of the house, for the education of the children, for setting up new businesses or services centers, or for agriculture. Well, now fortunately we are coming. We have a loyal customer base. But what is most important in distinguishing for us, as I have been repeatedly telling you, is our technology levels. We have the capacity to do 30,000 new accounts day after day, every day on a sustained basis. We'll focus on improving this further. And I'm very confident and sure that in 6 months' time, we'll not only make it up, but we'll exceed it, our old levels. Secondly, and crucially, this has been a big lesson for us, and our institution has learned its lessons. We'll make, in next 6 months, 1 year's time, we shall take the organization forward and emerge much stronger than what we have been so far.
I'm sure you would. But in the next 2 to 3 years, where is it that you think your gold loan AUMs will be? Do you have any target in mind, or right now just the kitchen cleaning process is where your maximum energy and time is getting devoted?
Kitchen cleaning has happened. That means whatever is required to be done for cleaning the kitchen has been done. Cleaned.
No, maintaining the upkeep is what I meant. To keep it that way.
Decoration comes later.
So maintaining and decoration is happening simultaneously. First target of ours is that let us go back to our old business levels. which we expect that next 5 to 6 months time, this shall happen. Another thing is that we are strategizing within our organization that should we not develop few more products and few more verticals so that we can have a highly diversified. And you know, I come from State Bank, 40 years in that beautiful institution. Why State Bank is a winner in any situation? Because we have a hugely diversified depositor base as well as asset base. We are working in that direction in IIFL. Maybe after some time, once this event is over, it gives us now time to plan our future. So we expect to add a few new verticals in times to come.
You know, just talking about the impact as well that it had in Q1, naturally your margins were compressed due to this. As you're rebuilding your gold loans, do you see that margin pressure easing? Do you have any numbers in mind as to by how much it should ease?
I think it is a little too early to make that kind of assessment. At the moment, our whole focus is on firefighting. One firefighting, that regulatory we have been able to go through, come out cleanly. Another firefighting to go back to our old business levels. As I was telling you, for the last 2 months, we have been incurring cash losses in the organization. Now, we have to first of all get out of that. And simultaneously work on what kind of new verticals we can add to our system, we can add to our company, so that we can go back to a high growth, long term, on a sustainable basis. Ensuring two things: asset quality has to be top quality, better than the best in the system. And two, that our technology level should be top notch, which facilitates making these kinds of businesses for us.
You know, first things first, on the customer loss that you talked about, sir, how is it that you're going to get the trust and those lost customers back and add on to your customer base?
Well, it's a challenge. But it's a challenge, and there is a hidden opportunity also. We have to rebuild our brand. Fortunately, there is not much damage to that because our old customer, loyal customer base still stands with us. Fortunately, our key personnel, they have still continued in the organization. So rebuilding that may be a little slow process, but I think it should happen over the next couple of months' time. But we have to aggressively work on attracting new kinds of customers, new verticals, and new business. And that is where, once this gold loan comes back on even really, that is where our whole focus is going to be on. But let me tell you, at the risk of repetition, IIFL will emerge much, much more stronger post this event.
When you say new verticals and new innovations, what is it that at your back end? I mean, what I'm trying to understand is how much more innovation can there be when it comes to gold finance? It's a very, at the crux of it, it's a very basic and simple business, isn't it?
Perhaps my mistake. It's not that we are going to have new verticals in gold lending. No. We are going to have highly diversified verticals. There are lots of verticals where we have no presence. So, for example, in auto loans, we don't have any presence.
So, what you're trying to say is you're going to diversify in other verticals other than
gold, create new verticals outside the gold.
And where is it that you sense those opportunities? Autos is, of course, one segment that you mentioned.
And housing loans could be another. We can be very aggressive. There are certain things which we have to work on, and I would not like to speak before we comprehensively worked on it. But we have lots of things in our mind.
Sure. You also talked about some employees who did, leave you in this when you were braving the battle in the last 6 months. They were not the top level employees?
Fortunately, yes. They were not top level employees. None of a single top level employee has left us. You see, the organization we have created, our organization is a lot more democratic, and we believe in taking care of our people. I would put it this way: some of them, not senior level, but mid-level, junior level, have left. We understand their problem in the sense that, certainly their fluctuating pay or variable pay is no more there. So today it forms a very important component of the total package which an employee gets. So now it's undergoing a change. Once we are back on race, perhaps some of those good employees who have gone back, they may like to come back. But that's the process.
Part and parcel. The other thing, of course, is your company also raised money from several investors, right, after the ban, Fairfax being one of those. How is it that you're going to reward your investors now?
Well, we are grateful to Fairfax in the sense that, well, when we were going through an extremely challenging, demanding, tough times, their vote of confidence, their voluntary support stood us very well. But law doesn't permit me to pay them beyond the stipulated contracted rates of interest. So we'll pay that. But of course, their trust of confidence in us has substantially strengthened our relationship and trust with them. And we'll definitely work towards improving our relationship, which is mutually rewarding in times to come.
Any other investors? Because, you know, from what I see is that IIFL Finance is going to completely have a new makeover of sorts, right? It's going to be a very new and improved IIFL Finance 2.0, if I can call it that. That will require people, that will require investment in technology, that will require lots. So any fundraise, any new investors, anything that you have in mind right now?
The regulations, they have been withdrawn only yesterday.
Yeah.
We have just started breathing a little easy.
Sure.
Give us time.
And we're grateful that you're here to tell us about it. And
well, I think ETV was the one where I gave first interview when this
You were
happened.
here the day the ban.
I know, you were sitting right here. So now
today I am right here to tell what our institution is working on.
Yeah, and would you want to give this messaging as well, this vote of confidence that you're talking about now, to some of the ratings agencies as well, the likes of ICRA, CRISIL, etc., who had put your rating under watch, negative, or said that there are developing implications? Would you be meeting with them or want to, change that perception now?
Definitely we'll work on that. But first of all, our first priority is to bring normalcy to the institution.
Yeah.
As soon as the normalcy starts, our cash losses start going away. And I am sure that from this month onwards, cash losses should go away. And well, we would be definitely engaging with them to have a comprehensive review of the ratings which they have done. Definitely that, but this will start in due course of time once we have come back on our feet.
And this has also come at a time when the festive season is just approaching us. So can we say that now there are some stronger opportunities that you're looking at with the festive season around the corner?
Absolutely. You see, for us, for an institution like ours, once this ban is lifted, believe me, every day is an opportunity. And festive season is much bigger opportunity. So it's definitely an opportunity. And we are going to work on it and see to it that, well, we come back and start growing at the same pace or maybe a higher pace in times to come.
So next 6 months, you'll manage to clock back those 23,000 crore rupee AUM?
More than that.
More than that? Okay. We will leave on that happy note, and I'm sure it's going to be at least a happy festive season for all of you at IIFL Finance, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And festivity starts from today.
Absolutely. Good luck with that. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I really appreciate it.
9% higher for IIFL Finance. Quick break. Come right back for more.